Christmas is not just a holiday, it is a pressure test. This video is about why Christmas exposes a man's frame, discipline, and self-control. Most men lose structure, habits, and authority during this time. The purpose of this video is to show you how strong men think, act, and move when everything around them encourages weakness. If you want to stay sharp while others decay, this is for you. Subscribe to the channel if you want content that builds strength, discipline, and masculine clarity. Christmas is not special because of gifts or family or food. It is special because routine disappears. Schedules break, gyms empty, alarms get ignored, and suddenly the guardrails are gone. Comfort is everywhere. Food, distraction, excuses, social pressure, permission to relax, permission to delay, permission to lie to yourself. When structure collapses, there is nothing left to hide behind, and that is when the real you shows up. This is the moment where character speaks without filters, because rules are no longer enforced. From the outside, weak men need structure to behave. They need alarms, bosses, deadlines, coaches, eyes watching them. The moment those disappear, they drift, they soften, they indulge, they say just this once, and repeat it every day. Strong men do not borrow discipline from calendars or environments. They carry structure inside them. They wake up the same, they train the same, they think the same, because their identity does not change with seasons. Christmas exposes whether your discipline is external meaning, borrowed, fragile, conditional, or internal meaning, owned, stable, non-negotiable. This is why holidays destroy some men and sharpen others. One group loses itself when comfort appears. The other proves who they really are when no one is forcing them to perform. Comfort is never loud. It does not attack. It invites food everywhere. Alcohol normalized late nights, nostalgia, memories, emotions, excuses, stacked on top of each other until resistance feels unnecessary. Comfort feels harmless because it arrives dressed as reward, as family time, as celebration. But comfort is not neutral. It dulls the edge. It softens reaction time, lowers standards, and trains the mind to choose easy over necessary. Masculine frame is not built through pleasure. It is built through resistance, through doing what is required when comfort is available, and no one would blame you for taking it. This is where the split happens. When comfort increases, strong men tighten standards. They get sharper with sleep, stricter with training, cleaner with decisions, because they understand pressure is leverage. Weak men do the opposite. They relax, they loosen rules, they call it balance. But balance is just a word used to justify drift. Comfort does not destroy men instantly. It erodes them quietly, day by day, choice by choice, until they wake up weaker, slower, and behind, wondering where their edge went. Holidays are loaded with invisible pressure, family expectations, forced politeness, emotional manipulation disguised as tradition. You are expected to eat when you are not hungry, drink when you do not want to, stay longer than you planned, and agree just to keep the atmosphere calm. Most men fold here, not because they are weak physically, but because they fear tension. They abandon boundaries to avoid awkwardness. They trade self-respect for approval, and call it maturity. A strong man understands the difference between respect and submission. He stays calm, firm, and unmoved. He does not argue. He does not explain himself endlessly. He simply holds his line without aggression, without apology. You can love your family and still say no. You can be polite without betraying your standards. Emotional pressure only works on men who have not decided who they are. If a decision collapses under social discomfort, it was never a value, it was a preference. Strong men accept short-term tension to protect long-term identity, because peace bought by self-betrayal is not peace, it is weakness in disguise. Routines do not disappear by accident. They are abandoned piece by piece. Training stops first because schedules are messy. Sleep degrades because nights get longer, meals get heavier, mornings get later, time feels like it evaporates. And men tell themselves the most dangerous lie. It is temporary, just a few days, just until things normalize, just until January. That lie feels harmless, but the body and mind do not understand temporary weakness. They only understand repetition. What you practice you become, and what you tolerate becomes your new baseline. Temporary weakness quietly hardens into permanent habit, and by the time January arrives, the discipline muscle is already soft. Strong men see this coming, so they do not cling to perfect routines. They adapt them. They shorten sessions instead of skipping them. They protect sleep instead of sacrificing it completely. They train earlier, train lighter, train smarter, but they never fully disengage, because momentum is fragile once broken. It costs more to rebuild than to maintain. Strong men do not need ideal conditions. They operate under imperfect ones, because discipline that only works when life is easy is not discipline at all. Holidays are loud, not just in sound but in energy. Noise everywhere. Opinions flying, jokes disguised as criticism, passive insults wrapped in laughter, and social testing that most men do not even notice until they feel irritated, defensive, or off balance. This is festive chaos, and it exists to see who is centered and who is not. A man without frame reacts emotionally. He explains himself. He justifies his choices. He fires back with sarcasm or retreats into silence that is heavy and resentful. A man with frame does neither. He stays calm, grounded, and unmoved because his sense of self is not up for debate. He does not need to correct every comment or win every exchange. He understands that reactions give power and attention is a currency. Silence, when chosen consciously, is strength, not weakness. When you do not need to prove yourself, you stop leaking energy into pointless exchanges. Strong men let chaos pass through the room without letting it enter their mind, because frame is not about dominance. It is about stability, and stability is what separates men who are controlled from men who are in control. No one forces food into your mouth, and no one pours alcohol down your throat. That decision is always yours. Yet holidays expose how quickly men give up responsibility. The table is full, the glasses keep refilling, and suddenly accountability disappears. Men say it is tradition, it is celebration, it is once a year. But the body does not recognize occasions. It only responds to inputs. Overeating and overdrinking are not accidents, they are choices, and those choices expose discipline more honestly than words ever could. Strong men understand enjoyment does not require excess. They eat deliberately. They drink consciously or not at all. They stop before losing control, because self-respect matters more than momentary pleasure. Weak men surrender control early. They numb themselves, then blame the occasion, the family, the mood, the pressure. But blaming the environment is just a refusal to own weakness. Self-control is not about denial, it is about command. If you cannot control yourself when pleasure is available, you do not control your life. You are managed by impulse. Strong men leave the table still sharp, still clear, still in command, because discipline does not disappear. When food appears, it reveals whether discipline was ever real. While the world slows down, the streets quieter, the gyms emptier, the schedules loosen, strong men do not follow the crowd. They do not mirror the chaos. They use the time that others waste to sharpen themselves. Reflection becomes a tool, not a trap. They review the year with brutal honesty, seeing achievements clearly and failures without emotional distortion. They do not dwell on regret, they dissect patterns. They identify weaknesses not to punish themselves but to understand what to fix, what to reinforce, and what to eliminate. They separate comfort from complacency and pleasure from laziness. They plan for January before it arrives, setting intentions, strategies, and standards. While others scroll endlessly or numb themselves with distraction, the calendar is irrelevant because time does not wait. Strong men anticipate, they stack micro wins. They adjust routines, they prepare their bodies, minds, and environments for the months ahead. They do not start from scratch, they enter the new year already ahead, because preparation is the invisible edge most men never cultivate, and the quiet days of Christmas are the perfect opportunity to build it. Most men, when faced with the free days of holidays, want to shut off their minds. They want to scroll endlessly, binge watch, eat without thinking, and fill every second with distraction, because thinking feels heavy and focus feels like work. They confuse rest with decay and excitement with growth. Strong men understand the difference. They do not fear stillness, they embrace it. They sharpen their minds instead of numbing them. They read not just casually, but deliberately. They absorb ideas. They challenge beliefs. They reflect on decisions and outcomes. They train focus like a muscle. They plan mentally. While others drift emotionally, they write notes. They set intentions. They analyze patterns and prepare strategies. Mental strength is not about constant activity. It is about control. It is about choice. It is about deciding where attention goes when the world tries to pull it in every direction. Strong men rest without surrendering. They pause without dissolving. They recharge without flattening ambition. They protect their cognitive edge because knowledge, clarity, and strategy compound faster than calories or gifts. When most men escape their mind, strong men enter theirs and emerge sharper, faster, and more prepared than ever. Weak men enter January as if time has passed them by, heavier, slower, burdened by regret and unresolved distractions. They wake up behind before the year has even started. They carry December mistakes, excuses, indulgences, and broken routines like invisible chains. Strong men enter already moving their body, still conditioned, their minds still sharp, their focus clear. They carry momentum not just from training or work, but from discipline maintained. While others paused, momentum decides outcomes more than motivation, more than talent. What you do in late December sets the tone for the entire year. It dictates energy. It dictates confidence. It dictates results. Strong men understand that holidays are a test of preparation, not a break. They use the quiet moments to finish unfinished work, to adjust routines, to sharpen focus, and to secure the first wins of the year. Momentum compounds like interest. The more you carry into January, the faster the year unfolds in your favor. Weak men start behind and play catch-up all year. Strong men start ahead and expand the gap because the edge is always created before the world notices. It is forged when no one is watching, and December is the last battleground before the new year rewards those who prepared. Christmas is not just a holiday. It is a test disguised as celebration. It asks one question silently, without banners or speeches. Can you stay disciplined without external pressure? Can you maintain standards when nobody is watching? Can you control impulses when comfort and indulgence are available? Everywhere, most men fail this test because their discipline is borrowed. They need rules, routines, deadlines, bosses, accountability. When those vanish, their structure collapses, and they drift. They overeat, they overdrink, they skip training, they waste time, they excuse themselves. Weak men discover their weakness only after regret sets in. Strong men recognize the challenge and rise to it. They maintain habits, they protect boundaries, they act in accordance with their values, because discipline is internal, not conditional. If you pass this test, you are ahead of most men, not just in December, but for the entire year. Your momentum is intact, your frame is firm, your mind is sharpened. If you fail this test, now you have clarity. Now you know exactly what to fix and strengthen. There is no shame in discovery, only in denial. Christmas exposes the gap between who you are and who you claim to be. It offers a rare opportunity to confront yourself honestly, to see whether your strength is real or borrowed, and to emerge from the season sharper, stronger, and fully prepared for the year ahead. Christmas is not the problem. Weakness is. Use this time to strengthen your frame instead of losing it. If this video helped you see the game clearly, subscribe to the channel. More content like this is coming. Content that builds men who lead themselves first.